on Newcastle County, which features all things Newcastle County, Delaware. I'm your host, Antonio Prado. You never know who we're going to talk to or where we're going to visit. For today's show, I am pleased to welcome India Colon, a board member with Nuestras Raíces, and Delaware Miss Hispanic Queen Natalie Sierra, and they are both here to talk about the Puerto Rican Day Parade and Hispanic Festival in Wilmington. Thank you for being here, ladies. I really appreciate it.
I'm honored. This is exciting to be here.
Now today we're going to do something a little different, something similar to India Fest, where we previewed that festival that just occurred. And we're going to talk, to start the show, with a little presentation on La Bomba, the customary dress and dance that you'll see a lot of in the Puerto Rican Day Parade. And India, you're going to help us out, and you're going to describe what we're going to be seeing today.
Absolutely.
This year we have such a great showcase of dancing, but just to be specific so you can see at least one of the many things that you're going to see in there, we're going to actually showcase the Bomba Plena, which is from Puerto Rico, which actually originated 100 years ago out of Ponce, Puerto Rico, and with a little bit of the Afro-native traditions, which include that traditional conga, the bongos, and a lot of those native sounds that really get you moving. So we are going to showcase a little bit of that for you today. But first, if you'd like, I could explain to you a little bit about what the attire is that they traditionally wear, if that's okay.
Yeah, the girls look beautiful. Please do.
So I'm actually going to show you a little bit of what the native dancing is of the Bomba Plena, but I'll explain a little bit of the attire because that's always important to understand. The ladies here, the one in white and red, that is Odalis. The one in red bottom and then the white top with red, that is Shayna. They're actually going to be showing us the dresses. So just to start, one of the traditional things, a Bomba Plena dress is known to have a lot of waves. So when they pick it up and they bring it up, you'll see it has about 25, anywhere from 15 to 25 yardage of dress. When they move it, you'll notice like a feather-like swing back that you'll be able to see. And then when they are going to turn on their left side and they do that left side turn, you'll see that it gives a wave, and then as well when they go towards the right, it'll also have that natural wave. Another one of the traditional things that you'll see in the Bomba Plena dress is that it has that Afro tradition where they use a lot of shoulders. So one of the things that you'll see in Bomba Plena dances, this part is called more of the Bomba, is that when they have their hands on their hip, they'll actually dip down and they'll do the right kick up. And you'll see this, and they have that Afro native move that we're used to, that it kind of came from. In addition to that, they also do a little hop with their right hand out, and they tend to shuffle to the right as well as shuffle to the left. These are a lot of your traditional Bomba Plena moves. And then, of course, they always finish it off turning in every direction to give that beautiful dress, that beautiful showcase. But just to better show you, we're going to have Odalis, who's wearing the white with the red, to your left. She's actually going to be showcasing about a 2.5-minute Bomba Plena routine that she actually performed this past year at the Miss Hispanic Delaware, and she's our current third runner-up for Miss Hispanic Delaware that's currently holding the crown.
All right. Now, and you mentioned like the Afro roots, and but this is something that's quite, in its current form, unique to Puerto Rico. I mean, with the Spanish colonization, and there was also the Taino native presence. Is it fair to say this is something that you're only going to uniquely see in Puerto Rico and Puerto Rican culture in general?
Actually, no. This is actually the Arawak, the Taino natives, Indians. They actually spread throughout all of the Eastern Caribbean. So you'll see that also through the roots of the Dominican dancers, who will also be at the parade this year in the festival. You'll also see it even through Haiti, and it goes all the way through the Eastern Caribbean. You'll see it in the Bahamas. That fusion you can pretty much feel anywhere in the Eastern Caribbean. So it is something that the Plena Bomba was originated in Ponce, Puerto Rico. However, the Bomba has been carried out, and I'd say if there was a competitive tradition dance between Bomba of the Dominicans as well as the Puerto Ricans, I'd say that the Dominicans definitely have more of that Afro, feel that would definitely carry out that tradition a little better, yes.
Gotcha. And this is something we're definitely going to see at the Puerto Rican Day parade?
Oh yes, there's going to be an array of traditional performances, not only the traditional dances from Puerto Rico, but you'll see a plethora of dances from Mexico to the Dominican to Puerto Rico. You're definitely going to see a genre of music to even contemporary.
Now, I believe these beautiful young ladies are going to perform a dance for us. I believe it's time for that now.
That would be great.
Campo yo vivo triste, cada día sufriendo más. Adiós, ¿qué será de mí? Si no bailo esta bomba, me voy a morir.
All right, to begin with, I'm real excited. The Puerto Rican Day Parade, otherwise known as the Hispanic Day Parade to some, is back in its, where it needs to be in about mid-September. Can you talk a little bit about that, first of all?
Absolutely. Last year we actually held it in mid-August. Reason being is we had done a survey that the community said, it's really difficult because the students tend to go back in September, and our parade and big festival day is on a Sunday, and it usually runs till about 10 p.m. And they had a hard time with that. And we said, well, we'll give you guys the benefit of that. We're going to move it. Again, we did another survey where they said, we love it where it was, and it just doesn't feel the same because, in respect, the Wilmington Hispanic Festival is actually what kicks off, the parade and the festival is actually what kicks off Hispanic Heritage Month, which is why it's traditionally held right around the 10th to the 15th of September, because Hispanic Heritage Month starts on the 15th of September and it runs through October 15th. So it was really important for us to kind of bring it back. We like to give the community what they want, and I'm glad that they went back to the original date, which is what showcases the kickoff to Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yeah, there was a little bit of trial and error there, and so nothing wrong with going back to what worked best of all. Since we started with a musical theme, I want to ask you about how much does the music and dance, how much of a role does that play in the Puerto Rican Day Parade in Wilmington?
It actually does. It's actually known as the Puerto Rican Day Parade, el desfile puertorriqueño.
Exactly.
But it actually showcases such a fusion of music because we have such a large Hispanic community. So we actually have things from the Puerto Rican tradition, the plena that's going to be coming down. We have the Dominican dancers from St. Paul's that are going to be coming down, showcasing that, you know, African native traditional beats that we love to hear. And then we have well over 4 groups that are going to be doing Mexican danzas, as they call them. They're going to be showcasing a lot. So we actually have a big array. So it's actually the heartbeat. This parade is the heartbeat and the sound of what kicks off that festival that usually follows.
Now, for any parade, in my mind, as far as I'm concerned, you can't have a parade without high school marching bands. But let me ask the question: are there going to be any marching bands? I mean, we know that last year, because of the August date, AI DuPont High School, a longtime participant, was not able to be there. Do you have any news for us on that front?
Correct, absolutely. I have a big update on that. Actually, this year, with the Community Impact Awards that we give, this year's one of the Community Impact Awards winners is going to be the AI Marching Band. So I have spoken to Mr. Weaver, who is the director of the marching band and the music there, and as long as all the consents go through, it looks like they're going to be a go for the parade this year. We've also invited McCain. We've also sent out invitational to William Penn, and we've also sent out an invitational to Salesianum. These are all schools that have attended the festival before and have supported us year after year. So we're still waiting on some consents to come through because, of course, it is a big band in all of these great schools. So the school's just kicking off this past week and last week. So it's one of those things where now that they're in school and it's their busiest week, let's get the consents going, and hopefully we'll have some good news and updates on our Facebook page as to who will definitely be attending. But either way, just the fact that AI Marching Band is the heart of the school for the Hispanic community kids that live in that neighborhood, that's their feeder pattern school. We welcome them back every year. They're such great supporters. So this year they're actually getting the Futuro Award for community impact, helping our students be future productive students in society. So I'm really happy to announce that this year.
That's wonderful. Before we get into it any further, I just want to ask what time and where will the parade take place?
I think Natalie can give you that answer. She's participated year after year on these events.
The parade is going to be held on September 13th, and it starts at 1. The parade starts on 4th and Harrison.
Union Street.
4th and Union, and it ends at 4th and Van Buren, right in front of St. Paul's, where we have the stage and everything. Goes down. It's a big shebang thing.
So nothing has changed. It's going to be exactly what people expect. You know, starting right at 4th and Union and going down the hilltop to around where St. Paul's is. And let me ask you this: what happens after the parade? Is there going to be a little congregation of people like after the parade?
Yes, absolutely. So, like she said, the parade will kick off on Union, and 4th and Union Street will end on 4th and Van Buren. And the reason people don't realize that, the reason it ends there is because that's where St. Paul's Church is. And St. Paul's Church is where they originated 39 years. We're in our 39th year. So it originated there 39 years ago. All the founding people who put all these great events together. The community, again, said, we'd love for it to be at the block. We had about 1,200 attendees last year, but the survey showed that the reason they weren't attending is because a lot of them don't have the transportation or the means to get there, even though it's only about a mile away. They said if it was back to where it originally started, either under the bridge or right where St. Paul's is, we'll show up. So we're expecting that it's going to be a great thing. The parade finishes at 3 p.m. traditionally. So right afterwards, immediately following, because it ends on 4th and Van Buren, well, if you walk 1 block over this year on 3rd and Van Buren, that's going to be the heartbeat of the festival this year, where the stage and the lineup is going to happen, and all the great things that we can expect from food, the vending, the merchandise, and everything else that's going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, it makes total sense. You know, I know St. Paul's, that was where, you know, my family, the Prado family, you know, went to church. It was we were part of the parish. The same with the Ortega family. You know, Josue is here working with me now in Newcastle County government. So to me, it makes perfect sense for it to end there and for, you know, activities to continue there. Having said that, you know, let's say evangelistas, you know, there's a growing Protestant community in the Hispanic Wilmington community as well, and they're welcome to come as well. Right?
Yes. Yes, it is. It's actually it's a free event. Is that right, Natalie?
Open to the public. Everybody can come and enjoy the face painting and balloon animals that we're going to have there, and just come out and watch the lineup and enjoy free entertainment.
Yeah, it's free entertainment right in the heart, and it's again, and this is an educational and a growth experience for the community. So it's celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, the kickoff, but it's really an education platform for all of the community and everyone who lives in that area, or anyone that wants to just come and learn a little bit more of what Hispanic heritage is.
Now, we talked about a lot of the musical groups that will participate. You know, like you mentioned, some of the different music. You'll see like different floats coming down West 4th Street, playing music live, singing. You'll see La Bomba, you know, dancing. Like what? And we talked about the AI department, marching band, which is very important. Any other groups that are participating that you can describe for us? You know, on come September 13th.
Yeah, absolutely. We have. For a 5.5 hour period, we actually have a really good lineup. We have Jay Renegue y Los Humildes. They're actually coming from Lebanon, Pennsylvania. They're a cover band. So we said we want to get a band that, you know, kind of covers every genre of music that you could imagine, that people, all those top 40 Spanish music things that are, you know, out there that everybody loves to move to. So we have a cover band coming from Lebanon, so we're excited to have them. We also have Bria Noel, so she does traditional hip hop and R&B music, and she was actually on The Voice this year. And she just recently was told she passed round 1, and she'll be going back this winter. End of fall to winter, she'll be going into round 2 on the reality show for The Voice.
Wow.
So we actually have a good little surprises in there. We have a little Kizomba showcase that's going to be there. It's all about kind of getting everybody in the community and just kind of doing all those things and having everyone dance at the same time, you know, whether it's Kizomba, if we do with the new dance that's everybody doing, the Nene and all those great things, we're going to get everybody up and moving and just learning a little bit of everything, including myself, because I can't dance, so.
Did anybody invite Josue Ortega to sing, or is he retired now?
Oh, no. So
he's on the lineup.
if you notice, he tends to do a little bit of everything. So I'm not sure what he's bringing, but he's he's like what I call my secret weapon. People tend to think that, you know, the local groups are going to bring the same thing year after year. But Josue Ortega's been one of those local artists that has supported this festival year after year, and he tends to bring something new to the table every year. You know, a lot of local artists bring the same thing, but he's like my secret weapon. I like to keep him on that, you know, on what we call la tarima, on the stage platform, because he always brings something fresh, new, and believe it or not, he tends to challenge all those young individuals out there that are nervous and scared to do it. So yeah, he's my secret weapon. I like to bring him back every year.
Great voice.
Yeah,
Great voice.
an amazing voice.
Now, I've always, every time I've gone to the Puerto Rican Day Parade, Desfile Puertorriqueño, you see the vendors. You know, they're selling like you know, ethnic wares or food. Can we expect to see them again this year?
Yeah, the vendors are going to be a little bit different this year. I could talk a little bit about the food vendors because most of them, we have 4 food stations that are going to be from St. Paul's Church. Again, bringing it back to the community.
Yeah.
Father Tide, you know, we got to meet with him, and it was a really good meeting with him. We sat outside on the corner of 3rd and Van Buren. He actually came outside, and that's where our meeting was, actually, and it was pretty funny. And he was really supportive of having such an event come back, and he wasn't even aware that it originated there in St. Paul. So again, what can I say? It's an educational piece. He confirmed that they're going to have 4 food stations there, and every length of fusion food you're going to taste, anything from Mexican to Dominican to Puerto Rican to Peruvian. There's going to be a little bit of everything you're going to see there.
And on that note, I just want to say that, you know, for those who may not know, the reason why, one of the biggest reasons why the Puerto Rican community settled, you know, and made St. Paul's the center of the community, there was a wonderful priest by the name of the Reverend Russell Perkins, and this God rest his soul. He became a good friend of the family, a good friend of the Ortega family, and you know, he actually learned Spanish, and he welcomed the Puerto Rican community into
the church.
San Pablo, St. Paul's, and I think that's has a lot to do, you know, for why we're talking so much about St. Paul's. So thank you, Father Perkins.
Yeah, absolutely.
In heaven, for sure. Now, I want to start with you for this question, Natalie. What is your favorite part, you know, of Desfile Puertorriqueño?
Well, there's so many good parts. You know, I've lived on 5th Street my whole life, so every year I go to the parade. But right on the hill, what street is that? Broome Street.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So there's like from Union to Broome, there's people, but it's spread out. Right when you hit Broome Street, you're on a downward slope towards St. Paul's, and it's just like massive amount of people on both sides of the street, just so much energy there. But so excited to be there together and support the Hispanic community and come out, and I think that's the best part.
How about you, India?
I was going to say the same thing. Like she said, it was like 1,000 people spread out from Union Street to Broome Street. But, you know, it's as soon as you get to the top of Broome Street to that downward, like you said, the energy of the community. And we've been blessed to not have, you know, I know there's a lot of stigma right now with the city and the Wilmington with the violence and everything else. But we've been blessed over the years to have this parade and not have any incidents during the parade and just see every culture and everyone who just lives in that community come out, sit on their steps, and then the children and everybody come out, and it's just a big unity day. So to see that, you know, when a little girl approaches Natalie, that's probably my favorite part, is when you see the little girl approach the armed forces that support it, the Wilmington Police, the fire department that's coming down, or any of the queens that are coming down, and you have that little girl waving at them. You know, it gives them hope. So I think that's probably the best thing that I take away from the parade is just, you know, there's a lot more that you can do. And those little girls who are there, they see someone like Natalie or Odalis or any of the title holders, and they get really excited when they're waving at you. And you're just like, well, I'm just wearing a crown, but okay, you know. But it does. It's inspiring. And it's, like she said, it's an electrifying feeling to get to the top of that hill and see that next 1,000 wave of people just waiting for you.
And you make a good point. You know, the parade, like any parade, it brings out a lot of people, and you're going to see various ethnicities on the sidelines watching as everyone marches down West 4th Street.
Correct.
Now, in order to have a parade, you have to raise money. You know, there's certain things that have to be paid for, and like I know, for instance, here in Newcastle County government, County Executive Tom Gordon, he pledged to be a platinum sponsor, which is about $2,500, but that's not, you have to reach far and wide. Can you talk a little bit about, you know, the fundraising, if that's an ongoing thing, leading right up to the parade, and if so, how can people help out?
Absolutely. Like you said, you know, Newcastle County has actually been our highest level sponsor the last 3 years. So Newcastle County government, I can't say enough about them. They don't only sponsor the festival and the parade, but they also do individual sponsorships for the pageant contestants every year when they're, the council members are approached individually. So that's,
right.
It's such a blessing to have the Newcastle County government a part of that, and they've always been our biggest sponsor. We also have the City of Wilmington, Delmarva Power, we have Capital One, and they're all silver sponsors this year. And then, of course, we have Representative and Senator Robert Marshall, that's one of our bronze sponsors. And it's a growing list right now. We do start with the sponsorships usually in January, and then it's pretty ongoing up until the day after, pretty much up until the day of the pageant, we're taking sponsorship because it's a seasonal thing during Hispanic Heritage Month. So we do take sponsorships ongoing. This year's corporate sponsorship actually went out to a community blast of about 120 corporate sponsors, and 3 of about those 120 have responded with a level of sponsorship. So unfortunately, we're not getting what we would, but we're keeping our fingers crossed because, like I said, this is 39th year anniversary, the 40th. At least myself and anybody else who, you know, jumps on that train, we're going to try to make it a little bit more personal. Instead of the blasts and the emails and the sponsorship packets that go out, we're going to try to do a little bit more of that face-to-face approach, phone call approach. Like I said, it's all volunteer-based. Like, I think we all have regular Monday through Friday jobs, but considering where we are at the festival, you know, we've been able to keep it going with the sponsorships that we get in, so I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, and you know, I should say thank you to you, India Colon. You're one of the board members of Nuestras Raíces who puts this event together. You know, there's a couple of people that we could mention. You know, Jorge and Jackie Pizarro. The president is
Maria Perez.
You know, she's been doing that for a while, and you know, it takes you know, a small group of dedicated people to keep this going, and you know, you have to be acknowledged for that. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I want to ask, how important is the parade to, you know, the hilltop on the west side of Wilmington? That's the traditional Hispanic enclave. I mean, we're all over the place now in Newcastle County, but that's the traditional enclave. How important is the Puerto Rican Day Parade to the neighborhood?
I think it's important to everyone, especially if you grew up there. I think just to pay a tribute to your Hispanic roots and to come together and have a good time. I think everybody really enjoys it, and sometimes you just need to acknowledge where you come from, because even though we're here in the States, you always want to pay tribute to where you come from and remember who you are.
Yeah, we're one big melting pot. I mean, especially Delaware's so small, but I think anyone would agree that, you know, America is built on the melting pot of so many cultures and so many backgrounds, and Delaware doesn't fall far from that. So just
Indeed.
to be able to give a little bit of that education during that Hispanic Heritage Month of what part of the community that's a very big growing community within the United States, to be able to showcase Hispanics and the Latin and the culture and the roots and just the fusion that we do bring is probably really exciting to do, because it kind of, you know, makes us who we are here in America.
Now, at this point, I want you ladies to just repeat when and where the Puerto Rican Day Parade is, just, you know, for the benefit of our viewing audience.
So it's going to be held on September 13th from 4th and Union to 4th and Van Buren Street, and it starts at 1 o'clock, and it'll end somewhere around 3:30ish, and then you just flip over to the next block, 3rd and Van Buren, and then you can enjoy the festivities that we're going to have over there for the festival.
Until about 8:30 p.m.
And going back to the sponsorships, that's, you know, that's one of the things that makes, you know, this event free. You can just walk up and watch the parade. You know,
Correct.
Unless you're buying something from one of the vendors. You know, then you want to
Absolutely.
bring a little bit of cash for that.
Absolutely.
All right. I think we have covered everything today, unless there was anything that you ladies wanted to add.
I think I do want to add just one little thing, because
Sure.
of course we have Natalie here. One of the things that we do with the parade as well as the festival is we showcase two big things, which is really important to us in the community, the Community Impact Awards, the Hispanic Community Impact Awards. That'll actually be awarded this year during the parade. In between segments of the parade, we'll be actually giving out the Community Impact Awards, and there are some really key people that will be receiving that, AI being one of them, and there's going to be an article in the News Journal that comes out and gives everybody the big surprise of everyone else that's going to be getting that, so they should see that soon. But it's really important that people see that recognition, because this isn't recognition at the highest level, someone who might have donated $50,000 or anything like that to an organization. This is someone who's out there, you know, from the ground up, building futures for kids, or who is a kid that might be a great role model. Another great example is Miguel Tapia, who is, he's now in Columbia University in New York. He's actually going to be one of the MCs this year during the parade.
And a fellow Salesianum grad.
And he's a Salesianum grad. And when I invited him to be the MC, he was like, "Oh, that's really exciting. I'm honored. I'll drive down." He's going to fly in. He's going to fly home the same day. He doesn't realize he's getting an award, so this will be a good surprise for him. He's actually being nominated for the Inspiration Award with his story and everything else. So that's really important. People are going to see that recognition happening during the parade. And then again, you'll see the pageant girls there, so that's really important. So if you can save the date for October 10th, that's going to be the annual Miss Hispanic pageant, which has 3 categories: ages 6 to 9 for the Little Miss. We have age 10 to 14 for Junior Miss Hispanic, and then we have the Miss Hispanic, which is 15 to 18. And that's all consolidated to one pageant this year, which is different for us. But again, that's going to be held October 10th, and we'll have more information on the Women's and Hispanic Festival Facebook page.
And speaking of Delaware Miss Hispanic, are you situated fairly early on in the parade, or do you not know yet?
It's kind of like you have to go with what you get. So when they tell me, that's when I know. So I don't know too early. I mean, I know as they know. So once they know, they let me know. But it's pretty mutual here. I think we're all around the same time period.
You'll like be sitting in the car waving.
Yeah.
So this year, Natalie's going to, Natalie's going to be sitting in most likely in one of the vehicles that comes down in the parade, along with the current Little Miss Hispanic, which is Mariana Ayala. She will actually be sitting in the vehicle with Natalie, because all the contestants that will be participating this year will be following and marching behind them as the future contestants following along.
Gotcha.
So, and they're usually in the first half of the parade.
And we get to sit on stage and showcase there.
Correct.
Great. Well, I mean, it sounds like it's going to be a great event. Again, it's exciting to report that the parade will be on September 13th. That's right around where people usually expect it to be.
Correct.
And I think that the crowds will be bigger as a result. You know, the marching bands being lined up. I mean, that's wonderful as well. So, India Colon, I want to thank you for coming in.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Natalie Sierra, thank you for coming in.
Of course.
And here's to a great festival this year.
Absolutely.
Well, that wraps up this edition of Spotlight on Newcastle County. I hope you enjoyed today's show with the organizers of the Puerto Rican Day Parade and Hispanic Festival in Wilmington. Please keep it tuned to NCC TV for all your news and information on Newcastle County, Delaware. For County Executive Tom Gordon, Executive Producer Jim McDonald, Technical Director Josue Ortega, this is Antonio Prado. Thank you for watching. Take care.